Good morning and namaskar from Embassy of India, Dublin. And I welcome everyone who have joined us online. We have with us Dr. Kamal and His Excellency, the Ambassador of India, Shri Akhilesh Mishra. Our today's lecture under India-Ireland Friendship Lecture Series is Contemporary Globalized Society, Sikh Culture and Values by Dr. Kamal Soi. Dr. Soi is very well known as road safety guru in India. It is very difficult to bring out all the achievements and accolades Dr. Soi has received. However, I would try to mention a few. Dr. Soi's doctorate in the transportation management and transit losses with special studies in road safety, sustainable transport, smart cities, and accident prevention. He has been working in this field for last 25 years. Presently, he is associated with National Road Safety Council of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways of Government of India. Dr. Soi is also the chairman of Rahat, an NGO dedicated for drug de-addiction, women empowerment and road safety. He is also associated with Safe Community Foundation since 2006. On his area of expertise, Dr. Soi has more than 33 national and international awards to his credit. Punjab government awarded him with State Award in 2009, 2010 and State Bravery Award in 2011. Humanitarian Award by US government in 2016, prestigious Godfrey Phillips Awards for Physical Bravery for saving 11 precious lives. Certificate of Excellence by Netherlands governments, prestigious Hindustan Times True Hero Awards, Lala Jagat Narayan Award by Punjab Kesari Group of Newspaper, Vishwakarma Ratna Award, and many more. He has appeared in many programs on TV debates through various media platforms. He is also a TED speaker and appeared in Satyamev Jayate, a TV program which raised the issues concerning our society. The mission and passion of Dr. Soi is to create oneness in the world by bringing communal harmony and equal opportunities for all. His desire is to make roads safer with clean and green transportation. Before I invite Dr. Soi to present his lecture, I would request His Excellency for his introductory remarks.
Thank you, Emma ji. सत श्री अकाल जी, डॉक्टर कमल सोई जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका आयरलैंड डबलिन से जी आया.
Thank you very much.
At the outset, I would like to express my very profound personal gratitude for accepting our invitation to deliver a message, especially on the occasion of our celebration of Prakash Parv. We are very touched. And also, I take this opportunity to reiterate my very deep gratitude to you for the tremendous support, guidance, and advice you extended to me when I was Director General of ICCR, and we were planning to celebrate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So your support was deeply appreciated, and I'm very grateful because thanks to your guidance and support, we had a very successful celebration, not only in India through ICCR, but also in all countries. So I appreciate your personal support in our initiative. Also, I'm very happy to share with you, Dr. Soi, that in Ireland, we are very privileged to have a very vibrant, small, relatively speaking, but very vibrant and very dynamic Sikh community, estimated around 4,000 or so currently. And this is a community which is very highly respected. All of them are professionals and very well integrated with the Irish society. And I also particularly happy to share with you that their contribution as a community during the very difficult Corona period in Ireland was exemplary. And the Gurudwara became really a symbol of hope and comfort for people in distress. And as usual, the Gurudwara was a source of support and comfort to everyone without any discrimination. And the true spirit of Naam Japo, Kirat Karo, and Band Chako, that emanated the positivity from Gurudwara. So I'm very delighted to represent this community in Ireland. Also, I'm very happy that this lecture series is very significant because the message of Sikh Dharma and Guru Nanak Dev Ji has huge contemporary relevance. The message is truly timeless and universal. And his message is not only for benefit of the community of the Sikhs or Punjabis or only Indians, it's truly for the entire humanity. And also, I believe that the very special contribution of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and other gurus was that they made the supreme knowledge, they made the ultimate truth accessible to everyone. And they made it, they conveyed their message in such a language that it was accessible to everyone, even the illiterate. Someone who is not educated also can receive the blessing of that message. And also, there is no ambiguity, no confusion, no doubt in what the message is. Because if you read like Vedas or Upanishad, the language is so difficult, and then there are many interpretations of that. So for ordinary person, sometimes it's difficult to understand what the message is and what they should do. Whereas in the message of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, there is no confusion, there is absolute clarity, and it's appreciable by anyone. Like he says, "Sabko meet hum apan kina, hum sabana ke sajan." So there's no other way to interpret it, and there's no other way to remove all your enemies and kill the enmity itself. And also the message of non-discrimination, which is a cardinal principle of Sikh Dharma and Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message. Brahma Gyani ke drishti saman, jaise raja rank ko lage tuli pawan. The wisdom, the blessing has to be spread without any discrimination. So that is the universality of the message. And also in his message, very simple message, but very profound in terms of solving contemporary problems. In today's world, I believe that most of our problems, our suffering, our tension, our trauma is because of the sense of ego. We see that we are powerful and we are the doers. Whereas Guruji told us that the doer is not you, it's the Supreme Being. Inhi ke प्रसाद सुविद्यालयी, इन्हीं की कृपा सब सत्र मरे, इन्हीं की कृपा के सजे हम हैं, नहीं मोसो गरीब करोड़ पड़े. That is the, like, if someone has that sense of perspective and sense of humility, then a lot of the stress and tension and conflict that we see in the society will vanish. Also, the sense of superiority and inferiority and looking down upon and criticizing other beings because of external differences or superficial variations. Again, the message is so profound, so clear. Ek pita ekas ke hum barik, manas ki jaat sabai ekai pahchanibao. This is the exalted, glorious message. And also, if you look at the concern for the ecology, which has become a very contemporary theme, and everyone is now aware of the crisis which has been created because of conflict between man and nature. And again, the Sikh Dharma really provides us the way forward, a real light of day-to-day conduct. जैसे एक धूरी ते अनेक धूरी पूरत है, धूरी का कनु का फेरी धूरी ही समाहिंगे, जैसे एक नद ते तरंग कोटि उपजत है, पानी के तरंग सबे पानी ही कहाहिंगे. So this, you can't find a better expression of the unity between man and nature. Similarly, the pervasive, almighty, supreme being reflected in every creation, every creature in the nature. Jalastuhi, thalastuhi, nadistuhi, nadastuhi, brichastuhi, patastuhi, chitastuhi, urdhastuhi, tuhi tuhi. tuhi, 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 tuhi. Just thinking about the message, one feels transported to a different world. Thank you so much, Dr. Sohiji, for accepting our invitation and blessing us with your wise words. I really look forward to listening to your speech, as all others who are connected with this program. Thank you so much. Jiaya.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much, His Excellency Akhilesh Mishra ji, the Ambassador of Ireland, for inviting me on for Ireland-India Friendship Lecture Series to speak on contemporary globalized society, culture, and values. I remember my association with you in ICR, and the kind of dynamism, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of love, respect, and affection and devotion you have for Sikh community is really tremendous. And I'm sure this Sikh community of 4,000 plus people in Ireland, they are blessed to have your presence in Ireland. Like we are blessed to have your presence in India as well. We always look forward for your advice, guidance, and support, always. Coming back to now, the Sikhism, when the mind is clean with the jewel of spiritual wisdom, it does not become dirty again. Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Good morning, good evening, Sat Sri Akal, Namaskar, Pranam. Thank you, very respected His Excellency Mr. Mishra ji and team in Dublin, Ireland. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thanks all my listeners, my Sikh friends, my Irish friends, my Indian friends, my friend across the globe, wherever you are. This is a really great honor for me to be speaking to you and expressing my views on Sikhism and what Sikhism is. What is Sikhism? The word Sikh is derived from the Sanskrit word Shishya, which means student in its original Punjabi. It's common in various geographical contexts for people to adopt surnames that reflect their social status. In South Asia, surnames often indicates one's caste identity. The Sikh gurus rejected social discrimination of any kind and called on all Sikhs to drop their caste names and to adopt a collective last name. Women take the last name as Kaur and men use the last name as Singh. Both of these names draw from traditional names used by royalty in South Asia. Assigning royal last names continues to empower members of the community, highlight the belief in equality, gestures to the core belief of human sovereignty, and underscore the perceived familyhood of collective Sikh community. Sikh today are either Singh or Kaur. And I'm sure why I started with Singh and Kaur, so that whenever we talk to a Sikh, either he is Singh or he is a Kaur. Sikh means seeker of truth. During the time of Sikh gurus, the community of believers was diverse, multicultural, interreligious. It was only later the term Sikh began to refer to a specific group of people. At its origin, Sikh Dharma meant the spiritual practice of one who's looking for truth. One who's looking for truth and only truth. In its earthly form, Shri Guru Granth Sahib, which is of 1,430 pages of sacred teachings and songs. There are a total of 36 contributors to Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. In addition to six gurus, composition from 30 saints from different religions, Hindu, Muslims, and all the people, they are composed into one Guru Granth Sahib. That is 1,430 pages of Shabads. Shabads are set to 60 musical scales, which are called rags. And these rags are very particular musical scales. Different rags are meant to be sung at different times of the day or at different seasons. When the globalization was happening and the likes of Vasco da Gama, Columbus and others, they were looking for conquering the colonies, the countries in the lust for power and money. There came Satguru Nanak Pargatya, Mitti Tundsak Chanan Hoya. With the emergence of true Guru Nanak, the mist cleared and the light scattered all around. As if at the sunrise, the star disappeared and the darkness dispelled. With the roar of the lion in the forest, the flocks of escaping deer now cannot have endurance. Wherever Baba put his feet, a place of worship was erected and established. All the Sikh places of the world are now have been renamed as name of Nanak. Every home has become a place of Dharma where Kirtans are always sung. Baba liberated all 4 directions and 9 divisions of earth. Satguru Nanak Pargatya Mitti Tundjak Chanan Hoya. This is how the globalization in this part of the country happened at the same time when the people like Columbus, Vasco da Gama and others, they were conquering the world for money, lust and power. Here, Baba Nanak came as a light to guide us, to advise us, to take us through our life journeys. Sikhism started in 1469 to 1708, 10 successive gurus consciously channeled and acknowledged the power of Guru. These gurus lived, traveled and taught in what is now India and Pakistan. Total life of these gurus, 239 years. They revolutionized the spiritual, social, economic and political life. Shri Guru Nanak Dev, the founder of Sikhism, was a master of sound. He always used to say, I get the power, the word, it comes from the Almighty, from heaven. In Guru Nanak times, only human being could be considered as a guru. That when people asked Guru Nanak who his guru was, Guru Nanak would say the Shabad which comes from the Almighty. Guru Nanak, the Shabad, the power and projection of the sound current in the Shabad of Shri Guru Sahib are in ragas. These ragas are the methodology of harmonies. They are the play of the life force. The blessings of Shri Guru Granth Sahib nurture the trees, human, bees and birds, demons and angels alike. Once the honeybees sat on a branch to create honey, a tape of Gurbani was played at a distant constantly. That beehive gave 3 times the honey of other hives. Just by listening to Gurbani from a tape, the beehives gave 3 times the honey of other hives. That is the power of Shabad. That is the power of these ragas. That is the power of the Shabads. From the time of Guru Nanak to the time of Guru Gobind Singh, each Sikh master taught a person's own spiritual progress rests within him or herself. A teacher can show us the way, but it's up to each person to walk the path. The sacred songs of Shabad Guru embodied in the Shri Guru Granth Sahib are the key to one's own self-awakening. When a person with his or her own lips, tongue and breath sing the songs of enlightened masters, it begins a chemical chain reaction in the brain. The singing repatterns the neuron net so that eventually in time, the student can perceive directly what the master spoke about. Then there's a union between the student and the guru. This is what is the power of Shabads. This is what is the power of ragas in the Shabads. Sikhism is based on Naam Japna, Vansh Shakna, Kirat Karna. These are the 3 core tenets of Sikh religion. Meditation upon and devotion to the Creator, truthful living and service to humanity. Sikhs are meant to uphold the values of honesty, compassion, generosity, humility, integrity, service, and spirituality on a daily basis. We don't have to wait for the months and weeks. We do it on a daily basis. Sikhs always believe, Guru Nanak Sahib always said, women are the supreme. Soku manda akhiye jis jamme rajan. Soku manda akhiye jis jamme rajan. As Sikhs, there's no function within the religion society that should exclude women. Women are a valued life-giving forces within our communities. From a woman, a man is born. Within woman, man is conceived. To woman, he is engaged and married. Woman becomes friend. Through woman, the future generation comes. So why God are bad? From her, kings are born. From woman, woman is born. Without woman, there would be no one at all. So that was the thinking process for women in the Sikhism. Again, I say, so kyu manda akiye jis jamme rajan, the one who give birth to the kings. How can we say she is bad? Like Ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador Akhilesh Mishra was saying, the environment. Guru Granth Sahib, Gurus always gave importance to environment. This is a Pavan Guru Pani Pita Mata Tart Mahat. Guru Sahib has explained by giving example, Pavan is Hawa, oxygen. Just as breath means air and oxygen are very important for life, so it is necessary to have a Guru for our spiritual life. Meaning Shabad Guru. Gyan Guru is very important. Pani is water. We are made of 75% of us we are made of water. That is contentment also. Mata Tart is Mother Earth. Mother Earth means tolerance. So to live a spiritual life, we need to have Shabad Guru in form of Pavan, a father in form of contentment, and mother in forms of earth. We always consider earth as our mother. We always consider Pavan as our father. This is how we consider the environment. So in the modern world where environment is at stake, the environment, we always look at the environment in a different way, but 500 years back. So this was the teachings of the Gurus. The core values of Sikhism, the Gurus provided us vital leadership to the downtrodden and suppressed people at that time. Their contribution in spiritual, moral, social, economic, cultural, and political fields are striking and remarkable. One God of all the universe. The fundamental belief for Sikhism is that God exists, not merely as an idea or concept, but as a real identity, indescribable, but yet knowable, perceivable in anyone who's prepared to dedicate the time and energy to become perceptive to his persona. The Gurus never spoke about proofs of the existence of God. I repeat again, Gurus never spoke about proof of existence of God like many does. For them, he's too real and obvious to need any logical proof. Equal right for women, I said gender equality. From 1499, women always have been regarded as equal with men, as all the rights and privileges enjoyed by men in Sikhism. She's considered to have the same soul as men and has equal right to grow spiritually. This Sikh woman is allowed to lead religious congregations, to take part in Akhand Path, to take part in all perform Kirtan, to work as a Granthi, and to participate freely in religious, cultural, social, political, and secular activities. This was the power of women given by the Gurus 550 years back. Equality of mankind, race equality. The Sikh Gurus have emphasized the concept of equality of mankind in the sacred verses found in the Sikh holy scriptures. Guru Granth Sahib. Nanak says in Japji Sahib, accept all human as your equal and let them be only your equal. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib said, Manas ki jaat sabe ek pehchan bo. Recognize all of the mankind as a single caste of humanity. Therefore, Sikh believe that all human beings are equal. We are all sons and daughters of Vaheguru, the Almighty, in the message. We focus on God, remember God. This part of 3 pillars of Sikhism, the remembrance of God by repeating and focusing the mind on his name and his blessings. The name always given to God primarily refer to the Almighty, always. Like Sikhism always believe in honest work, word, haq in life. I just want to share with you, Guru Nanak Sahib, when he settled in Kartarpur Sahib, which fortunately after 70 years of independence, Modi Sahib came as a messenger of God and he came into and he took the initiative, opened the Kartarpur corridor for us to see where Guru Nanak Sahib spent his last 17 years as a peasant. He was working, he was doing culture himself with his own hands. So I just went there last year and represented Government of India on 19th of November, and I saw the land and I bowed my head where my Guru Nanak was working himself to produce crops from the fields. And not only one field, he used to plow himself. So there were no tractors and other things. So he used to plow himself to take out water from the wells. And how the gurus have shown to the world that we have to do honest work, to work and earn by sweat of brow, to live a family way of life, and practice truthfulness and honesty in all dealings is a fundamental part of Sikhism. To carry out good deeds and earn an honest, pure, and upright livelihood by exercising one's God-given skills, abilities, talents, and hard labor for the benefit and improvement of individuals, their families, and society at large. Share with others. This is a very, very important part of Sikhism. To share one's wealth with others in the community, to give to charity, to distribute in langar, and to generally help us in the community who needs help. A Sikh is expected to contribute at least 10% of his income, which is called the swand, to the needy people of the world, to a worthy cause. Help others, do seva, is a word used to refer to a selfless service, performed without any thought of reward or personal benefit. All Sikhs are encouraged by their gurus to perform selfless voluntary service for the community. This is not only good for community relations, but also good for moral uplifting of the persons. I remember, in all the continents, in Australia, one Sikh person removed his turban and saved the life of a person being bleeding on the road. Similarly, one person in the United States, he put his turban down and he pulls out two people from the lake. So this is, they don't have to tell. It is being embedded in the DNA. It is embedded in the brain of Sikhs that we have to do seva. We are here for seva. We are here for community. Protect the right of others. Respect for right of others. In the regard, ninth Nanak Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib provides a very valuable lesson for the Sikhs. He gave his life for Kashmiri Pandits. Kashmiri Pandits came to him to seek his help, that the Mughals, they are pressurizing them to change their religion. 9 years old Guru Gobind Singh Sahib asked his father, why you are in dilemma? What is stopping you to give this sacrifice? And Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, he was martyred in Delhi by Aurangzeb to help others so that no one looks at Kashmiri Pandits. If you can convert me, then you can convert these Kashmiri Pandits. If you cannot convert me, don't look at them. That was the power of sacrifice. That was the respect for others. Right to defend. Guru Gobind Singh has very clearly set the mission for Sikhs to create the unique path of Akal Purakh Ki Fauj, the army of Lord, to protect and serve all the people of the world. Only then it can be rightly called Akal Purakh Ki Fauj. When the Khalsa started serving the needs of the few, or starts being concerned only with itself, its fallen duties are set by the 10th Guru. So we are here to help out the world over. Fear none but God. The Guru Granth Sahib offered guidance on how one should become fearless. The trials and tribulation of modern life meant that both these ailments are to increase in the world. Many suffer from anxiety, fear due to losing one's identity or security, from constant and sustained financial, health and emotional pressures, from humiliation, oppression, victimization, feeling of inferiority, persecution of one's group, and other kind of discrimination. These external agents are relentless and become such a strain that many suffer constantly in pain. But Guru Sahib has taught us to be fearless, to do what is required to be done, to be not afraid, to serve the others, care for all humanity, seva and support for the weak. Sikhism is found on the principles of Sarbat da Pala, like His Excellency Akhilesh Mishra was saying, Sarbat da Pala. All is well, for all is well. working towards the common good to all. For Sikhs, this means reaching out to serve and uplift all of humanity as an expression of devotion to the Creator. Guru ka langar, kirtan, path depend on the performance of seva by many in congregations. You can see people watering the roads, people cleaning the roads, people they are crossing, giving the way out. Last month, few months in Ukraine, there is ambulance service there. There is a food service there. They have nothing to do with the Ukraine. Just few of them, maybe less than hundreds, but they are there to serve the humanity. They are there to serve them. They are there to feed them. Once, I remember in Sikhism, once there was a fight, there was a war going on, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib and Mughals. The people came to, the Sainiks came to Guru Gobind Singh Sahib and said, Guru Sahib, Baba Banda Bahadur is serving the enemy. He's giving the water to enemy, he's giving food to the enemy. He's giving first aid to enemy. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib smiled and said, this is what we are meant to be. We are meant for humanity. No one is our enemy. All of us are us. We will take care of them, friends or enemies. Live to the highest spiritual level. Oh Lord, give me the boon. May I never ever shake from doing good deeds. Never may I fear when I go to fight with the enemy. With surety, victory will be mine. Be bold and positive in your life. Don't shake away from doing good despite obstacles. Pursue good missions to that. Be gentle. Act with humility. That is what Sikhism is. That is what Sikh's values are. This is what we are known for. In a nutshell, Sikh Dharam is known for sacrifices. This supreme sacrifice, the 10th Guru, he gave his father, he gave his 4 sons, he gave his mother, he gave himself. So what can be the biggest example of a sacrifice in the history so far, in the civilization so far? People, they fight for lust and power, for money, but here they were fighting for others. They were fighting for their own people. They were fighting to save others for the dharma. That was the sacrifices Sikhs are known for. They will give their life, but they save others' lives. They're known for service. We have the spirit of givo. 10% of income is given on charity and for the help of others. No enemy. Na koi dushwari, na koi begana. All are us. Sharing and caring, love for all, respect for all religions, warriors, fearless, respect for children, women, and elderly. This is what Sikhism is. And when we talk about globalization and Sikh shining globally, the Sikh faith is the 4th largest religion in India and is concentrated mostly in Punjab. Following India, United States and Canada has the 2nd largest Sikh population, followed by UK. Other countries, US, Australia, Malaysia, Kenya, Uganda, to be out of 100 Sikhs, 65 live in Punjab, 25 in the rest of the country, and 10 are abroad. Out of 100, 10 are abroad. So we are omnipresent. So wherever you go, you'll find a Sikh. You go on the airport, you go on the playground, you watch TV channels for cricket, you take a person who is singing, you find a Sikh somewhere. They come from nowhere, but they're there. Despite centuries of immigration and large Punjabi Sikh diaspora, about 36 million, the majority of them, they live in India, but they are followed all over the world. I have seen, I keep going to Golden Temple, Darbar Sahib. I keep finding some people from UK and even Ireland. They come and they take pride in wearing turban. They come and pride in sitting in the Golden Temple and listening to the sermons. And they feel that they belong to. So everybody, each and everybody, whosoever comes and think of Sikhism, they want to be adopting the Sikhism. So the Sikhism has become a way of life. Sikhs are omnipresent. So this is what is the, this of the modern religion. This is the power of this 550 years of modern religion. They basically, Sikh diaspora are reported to have begun after the fall of Sikh kingdom in 1849. Maharaja Dalip Singh was the first Sikh to settle in UK. In the 20, he happened to go there in 1849, 1849. So the first wave began from Punjab in 1911. Once the Sikh kingdom, the British Raj began recruiting many Punjabi Sikhs in the British Indian Army. And in the First World War, it is said that 88,000 Sikh participated in the First World War. After World War II and partition of India, the Sikhs started to move to other countries for greener pastures, specifically in UK, because UK was controlling the Indian. So they started going to UK, and like His Excellency Shri Akhilesh Mishra is there in Ireland. So you'll find many people who have their roots in the maybe early 19th centuries. The Sikh community moved in good number to United States, Canada, and Africa, Italy, and various other parts of Europe. Today there are, about 800,000 Sikhs in United States, about 500,000 in UK, and so on and so forth. Sikhism is known for service to humanity. This is very interesting. Wherever they go, they establish gurdwaras. Guru Nanak Sahib said, Dharamshala. It was said Dharamshala when Guru Nanak Sahib was in Kartarpur in his last years, his last 17 years. He says Dharamshala. So those Dharamshalas are now taken the name of Gurdwaras. Gurdwaras around the world are not characteristically defined like churches or mosques with distinct architectural features, but they are defined by function. You think of Gurdwara, you think of langar. You think of community culture. And you most of all, you think of open door. Gurdwara are never closed. The door of a Gurdwara never closes. I mind my saying this, if I go to a temple in India, this says, okay, 12 o'clock, God is resting. Bhagwan so rahe hain. But in Gurdwaras, Bhagwan never sleeps. The Gurdwaras are always open 24/7. I always see Gurdwaras as civic spaces, as spaces where one is free to gather and assemble regardless of where one comes from. The Gurdwaras is first and foremost a place of worship. So people comes there for a place of worship. Gurdwaras have a fundamental importance to religious, social, and political life of Sikhs. They have a political part in developing the Sikh religious traditions and shaping Sikh history. Since its inception, role of Gurdwaras for the Sikh community has been manifold. First, it is where the Sikh assemble, the worship and prayer. There are three main functions carried out in all public Gurdwaras. One is Kirtan, the singing of hymns from the Guru Granth Sahib. Another is Katha, the reading of Guru Granth Sahib and explanations. The third is Langar free for all visitors. And whichever country I go, I make sure that I go to a Gurdwara. I went to UAE in Dubai, and I found a wonderful Gurdwara in Jebel Ali. So you have Gurdwaras everywhere. And that Langar people, some people, they come for Langar. And Langar is served irrespective of caste, creed, status, social status, and everything, what country you come from, doesn't matter. But you come there and you are welcome. People of all faiths are welcome at Gurdwaras. Initially, Gurdwara was a place where Sikhs could go to hear the human guru speak. But now, everyone is welcome. In every Gurdwara, you'll find 4 doors, 4 sides of doors. This means Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, Christians, they all are welcome. Basically, there used to be 4 religions, so all are welcome. At the time of community and national emergency, Gurdwara act as shelters, a refuge for the people. For instance, during the devastating fire that almost engulfed the town of Fort McRae in Alberta in 2016, the Sikh community came together to collect $1 million in food and clothing for those affected by the fires. In addition, 9 semi-trucks full of food and clothing were sent to the victims by Gurdwara people in the spirit of Seva, selfless voluntary service, Sarbat da Pala. We are not concerned, but we are concerned about the humanity. We are there or not, but we will go there for humanity. Another way that Sikh have manifested a service ethic to the society is through the tradition of langar, where free warm meals are served to all visitors without any distinction of religion, race, ethnicity, gender, or economic status. Sikhs have taken the langar outside the gurdwaras also, even at places where people are suffering from natural and man-made disasters. United Sikhs and Yangon Sikh Gurdwara served langar thousands of Myanmar cyclone survivors in 2008. I'm just giving few examples. And now in Ukraine, we are serving langars. We do not know who Ukrainians are. They are not attached to us. We are very less in numbers there, but we are serving langars there. Through its Langar Aid project, Khalsa Aid International UK serves the homeless, vulnerable, and those struggling with poverty in the UK. Khalsa Aid comes to them. They also work internationally, provide humanitarian and in disaster and war zones. For instance, in 2015, it set up a free bakery near the war zones to feed fleeing Syrians. Because Guru Sahib has taught us, whosoever is in distress, go and help. After all, 7.5 billion people, they are all ours. The inclusiveness and oneness of all humankind are much renowned Sikh doctrines. Sikh took this concept beyond the Sikh community by helping and serving others without discrimination. Consequently, looking at this, even Muslims, Hindus, Christians, and many others donate towards langar. And do it because this is what oneness looked like and felt like. Like in India, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is always looking for oneness. This oneness has been taught to us by Sikh Gurus 550 years back. In March, just to share a few of these things, and I feel that people should know about it. In March 2020, when the New York Mayor's Office approached the Sikh Center in New York for assistance during Corona time, the Sikh Center handed over about tens of thousands of food packages to various federal agencies for distribution among needy. Besides, during pandemic, Sikh volunteers delivered thousands of meals to vulnerable population, including homebound seniors and those unable to afford meals in New York, California, Washington, Houston, etc., etc. Gurdwaras in Melbourne and Adelaide, cities of Australia, started a free tiffin service for those in isolation during pandemic. The needy persons can even order by telephone, which is delivered to those doorsteps by Sikh volunteers. They were not looking for their own life. They are more concerned about people who are in distress. In Canada, many Gurdwaras launched a food delivery service for free with the help of local restaurants and Sikh families to help the needy persons. In the UK, the Midland Langar Seva Society served hot meals to the homeless in Birmingham, and its team reached out to those who had isolated themselves throughout the UK. Many other Gurdwaras in countries like New Zealand, South Africa, Germany are also involved. Same thing. In India also, I'm sure the world might have seen, there was a langar of oxygen langar. The Sikh volunteers, they were carrying the oxygen cylinder in their cars and they were reaching to the people who are suffering with corona, and they were providing oxygen. Several Gurdwaras worldwide opened to establish COVID-19 vaccination center at their premises. The vaccine clinic at Surrey in Sikh temple in British Columbia successfully delivered vaccination. They were buying vaccine from their own money and they were giving it to the people. I'd like to add, Bangla Sahib Gurdwara fed 75,000 people every day during this pandemic. At the time of second wave of Corona, Guru Harkishan Institute of Medical Sciences and Research had started a free of cost 200-bed hospital dialysis center for all without any consideration of caste, color, and creed. Oxygen cylinders were delivered to Corona patients at their homes. Even the langars were organized. This is the kind of community service these Gurdwaras were doing. Gurdwaras plays a crucial role as a beacon of light. It provides helps in rejuvenation, my faith providing temporal and spiritual guidance and a feeling of community fellowship. Gurdwara plays a crucial role linking me to an extraordinary Sikh heritage, full of selfless service and sacrifice to humanity. Several of my life affairs, ceremony of my children, my marriage, even funeral, prayer, Thanksgiving ceremonies of my families, all happens in Gurdwara. All happens in the presence of Sahib Shri Guru Granth Sahib. In 2020, Sikhs were there reported in around 84 countries, 24 countries in North America. And wherever Sikh goes, they are respected. The first Sikh community entered the United States via the West Coast during 1890s. At present, there are 300 Gurdwaras in the United States, situated in big cities like Los Angeles and small rolling farming towns as well. I've been to California, and whichever city I have gone, I have found many Gurdwaras there, and they take pride in serving the people. Now I'll just come to the core and global presence and the image of Sikh self in this modern contemporary globalized society. Image of the Sikh self, the formation of Sikh self constitutes involves a play of images. The Sikh self can be best understood by analyzing the various images it has formed over its 500-year-old history. Basically, 3 images can be identified. Each is associated with particular socio-political experiences globally. The emergence of a sociotype characterized by intense loyalty towards religion and community. These images are, number 1 is spiritual, number 2 is heroic, number 3 aesthetic. Historically, the spiritual and mystical image is first to emerge. It is characterized by humility, compassion, and piety. The heroic image nurtures bravery and valor. This image has its root in the historical conditions of the 17th century and continues to inform the dominant Sikh image in contemporary times. The third image of Sikh self touches the aesthetic dimensions. It is illustrated by the lively dances and joyous songs. Whenever you think of a Sikh marriage, you will think of Bhangra songs, live music. I will not say drink and dining, but we always have those kind of lively sessions. The discussion below details the spiritual image, and I will talk about a little bit of spiritual image of the Sikhs. Emancipation through serving and sharing the foremost impression of Sikhs evokes a spiritual image. The persona who epitomizes this image of Sikh self is founder of Sikhism, Guru Nanak. The characteristics often associated with this image are humanity, compassion, love for all, service before self, harmony, sense of brotherhood, dignity of labor, and community service. To overcome the inequalities, a shared humanity was preached, which according to Nanak, surpassed all religions, socio and caste barriers. As the community grew, he established 2 important institutions. Number 1 is Sangat, number 2 is Langar. Sangat and Langar. Sangat is the community congregation which meets to pray and sing the hymns. Langars refer to the common kitchen where people of all castes and faiths have a shared common meal. Both these aspects have been effective in nurturing social values of equality, humility, sharing, cooperation, and comradeship. You'll find that even in India, in the Indian army, they have started called Bada Din, Bada Meal, where all the officers of whatever level they are, they sit with the soldiers and have the meal together. So this might have been taken from their the Langar way, where everybody is equal. They will be served the same langar, which is served to 100,000 people. Guru insisted meeting the everyday social obligations. A Sikh believer has to take on social responsibility, which is translated in the form of voluntary labor in this service of community. The experience of Sikh self owes a lot of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Guru Granth Sahib Ji is accorded the status of a living Guru by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the last Guru. And a mark of like Guru Granth Sahib Ji, it acts like a Guru. It's the main source of our daily prayers. All rites of the passage take place in the presence of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Newborn is named in the presence. I was talking to people, the marriage ceremony also. Wherever I go, I have Guru Granth Sahib Ji, I have Gurudwaras, where all this happens. Does in joy or sadness, in anxiety or difficulty, the Sikh self turns to the Guru Granth Sahib for help and support. Whenever I go out for an important work, I take Hukamnama by opening Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and that guides me to a path of peace and success. The place of worship, the Gurdwaras, has continuously provided a strong bond on the Sikh unity. It provides a sacred place to the Sikhs where they can focus on their personal devotion and a continuing loyalty to the traditional beliefs and practices. All who visit the Gurdwaras in a common service of worship with the singing of Shabads, the hymns, and eating the langar. The Guru Granth and Gurudwara, the Guru, the Granth, and the Gurudwara. I have called this term 3 Gs. The Guru, the Granth, the Gurudwara. 3 Gs, the Trinity becomes the litmus test of authentic Sikhism. It is the Guru, is the Granth, and it is the Gurudwara. That sums up what Sikhism is. Thus, the vision of Sikh self nurtured by Guru Nanak was that of a spiritual self. The Guru period spanning from 1469 to 1708 followed this basic paradigm of calling for a common message of spiritual and moral life. The emphasis on liberal traditions allows a person of any faith to follow its tenets, since no matter where the Sikh community resides, it takes with them their founder's vision of meditating on the word Shabad of one creator. Wherever we go, Guru Granth Sahib Ji with us, Gurdwara is there to perform puja. Then there is this image called the heroic image, the consolidating exclusively and resilience. The second image of Sikh self is of bravery, courage, fortitude, pride, fearlessness, obedience, and justice. This image has its rule in struggle that started from 1604 and the persecution of Sikhs by Mughals and continued till the displacement of the community after independence, of having a few status in their own homeland to being an ethnic minority in the country, and the suffering during 1984 riots. I will not elaborate more on that. That is a wound which will never get healed, although Modi Sahib has tried to heal that wound by bringing the people perpetrators of that crime to book, and they are in the prisons as of now. The Sikhs had to fight and prove the need for their very existence. Whenever the identity of collective self and the individual self have been threatened, the people have fought to protect their identity. The outcome of most of these encounters or struggles for their existence has resulted in making the case for their separate identity even stronger. The compilation of Guru Granth Sahib by the 5th Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, in the early 16th century provided the Sikhs a sacred text to guide the life. Whenever we are in fix, we go to Guru Granth Sahib, we go to the Guru to seek guidance. The religious reform movements, the execution of Guru Arjan Dev Ji in 1606 was a turning point, and oppression of Sikhs made Guru Gobind Singh Sahib about major changes. Earlier, it was more of spiritual and moral kind of teachings. But after 1606, when Guru Arjan Dev Ji was martyred, the Guru Gobind Singh Sahib brought major changes. Thus started the process of establishing the outer and visible boundaries of the community. One notes the introduction of two crucial dimensions. The older term Sikh was no longer accorded the same meaning. The new term came was Khalsa, the pure. Along with this term, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib introduced the well-known Sikh symbols, the Kada, the Kripan, the Kanga, the Kacha, and the Kesh, the 5 Ks. We keep facing problems in various countries for these 5 Ks, but with the God's grace, all is well. The physical body was used to convey the exclusivity of Sikh community. The physical body was used to convey. The body and the modes in which it inhabits space itself come to be organized as a medium, so which the Sikhs as opposed to the self is constituted. The adherence to the symbols, the pride felt in the physical looks, and the well-built stature provide an impressive image of an agile and striking-looking persona, particularly when he is attired in a well-tailored uniform. The notable aspects are the turbans, which this we take as a pride. This is my height as well by a few inches. thereby giving the look of a towering personality. The beard and the mustache reflects the quality of a courage and adventure. The powerful symbolic grid made available still appeals to the emotions and sentiment of the Sikhs and keep them as a united group. This conscious use of body as a rich cultural resource is aimed at bringing social order and organization. By the late 18th century, the Sikh Khalsa self-emerged with 5 interrelated themes as derived from the moral code. Life cycle rituals to mark birth, initiation, marriage and deaths, taboo behavior to differentiate from other communities of Punjab, the dynamics of aggression, the constitution of sacred space, place of pilgrims, and the impact of what the Khalsa defines as others. That laid the foundation of cultural identity of Khalsa Sikhs, which was necessary to consolidate the outer boundaries. The ritual expressed the statement of most deeply held values of society. As metaphors of collective consciousness, they distinguish between outsiders and insiders by erecting religious boundaries. They communicate spatial and temporal notions, and they endow people with significant sense of personal identity. The Sikhs basically come from a peasant stock, known for their hard work, but also the sense of pride and valor. By first labeling the Sikhs as criminals, tribe, agrarian caste, martial race, the Sikhs began to change the perception of themselves from a simple peasant to one who would be respected and honored if he adapted to the necessary acceptable changes. One president of India, 2-time prime minister of the country, many ministers, head of armed forces. So this is how the changes brought Sikhs to be a formidable force. They now may it be Canada or UK, without the Sikh population, it is hard to form a government. So in political circles, they have made their mark. The defense minister of Canada is still a Sikh, Harjit Singh Sachin Sahib. The status and position enjoyed by Sikhs in their own eyes and other further fuel them to work hard and discipline themselves. Sikhs are well known as entrepreneurs now, and the slogan has been work is worship. Concurrent with this development, custom and tradition led to the strengthening of the core value system and accepted moral code of behavior. Thus, the Sikhs took on the look of modernity by incorporating some modern values to traditional character of Sikhs. In independent India, the Sikh image has swung between extremes. The difference in perception of the image is a function of prevailing socio-political context. And the Sikh community has developed with leaps and bounds. The context-related change were on the positive side, being characterized as this word arm of nation, protector of nation, pride of nation. We have a Sikh regiment, so which is always on the forefront. May it be Kargil, may it be 1971 war, which was won by a Sikh journal. So Arjun Singh Ji made the country bow on their feet. So this is how the Sikhs have earned their reputation. Socially and economically, the Sikh community made a mark for themselves. The per capita income for the Punjab state has always been the highest in the country. Even the Human Development Index 2001 is the second highest in the country. However, during the 1970s, there was a discernible shift in the perception of Sikh community, problem of governance, and to the consequences had a major impact on Sikh psyche. The demand for a separate nation, which is often called period of terrorist activities, created another fracture in the Sikh identity. A negative image arose in the Sikh, came to have the image of being hot-headed wreckers of the nation, and came to labeled as militants. Once again, the Sikh worked hard to improve that image as perceived by themselves and in the eyes of others. And again, after that image has brought down, they are again in the forefront in the world and on the front pages of the newspapers. Then third comes the aesthetic image. Affective self, the third image of Sikh self is all of the spirited and energetic dances, various songs, enjoyment of good living, delight and humor, love of open spaces, excelling in the field of sports, presenting another picture to the above image of spirituality and social cultural dimensions. It is illustrated by the lively dances, especially the Bhangra and Gidda, the joyous songs, the colorful fairs and festivals, the melodious sermons, and the ballads of bravery. You can always find people like Daler Mehndi doing Balle Balle, You can find Monty Panesar in the English cricket team. You can find Harbhajan Singh and all hockey cricket team full of all Sikhs. And even I came to know that there's a cricketer from Netherlands who's a Sikh, Sunny Singh. So the just for life and determination to live life to the fullest. A brief look into the domain of contemporary music tells us how through innovations, Dileer Mehndi, a well-known Bhangra pop singer, has created a space and for the Sikhs as well to be heard in the global world. It is characterized by the rhythmic beat of drums and use of Punjabi language and certain idioms like Bale Bale. This indicates the use of traditions as inspiration and as a resource to indicate their musical history and reference points. Further, it is characterized by the use of modern instruments such as the synthesizers, the extensive use of Western production, and shooting techniques in an effort to reach out to contemporary audience. It exemplifies the use of technological and modern innovations in transgressing cultural boundaries and communication with others. So these Sikhs are in action. The self-image of Sikhs operates out of a set of values. The silent values are bravery and sacrifice. Thus need to develop courage and fortitude, stress on mental and physical health, emphasis on freedom and honor. The Sikh self has courage and shows willingness to take risk. It has the attitude of non-submission to threats, has the capacity to fight for freedom, dignity of labor and community service, and lastly to accept life in all its colors and hues. No matter what the life conditions are like, it is to be accepted as it is and lived to the fullest. The contemporary Sikhism has been able to construct a culture by taking into consideration the social changes introduced by modernity as well as historical context in which it struggled to survive. The Sikh self has realized that its core competence is the strong faith in its spiritual, heroic, and aesthetic facets. The Sikh self, characterized by these values, makes its presence felt in the national and international arena. The sense of pride in work has enabled them to be known for their hard work and contentment in various walks of life. The Sikhs are about 2% of Indian population, but their contribution to work for the nation is nearly 10 times the number. Sikh presence in the armed forces, civil administration, the agrarian sector, practical trade and crafts, and in the domain of trade and commerce is well documented. The salience of dignity of labor is worth noting. Since the Sikhs are known for their dedication to work, for their wanderlust, these two aspects have allowed the Sikh community to be an asset in foreign lands. Today, the Sikhs are not restricted to their home state of Punjab, but have made a mark for themselves in the global field. Many MPs, many senators, many ministers, the big businessmen, this Sikh community is to be found in all the continents of the world. It must be noted that whenever a Sikh goes, he carries his holy book, builds his temple and education institutions. That is fundamental. Wherever I have gone, maybe a smaller place where 500 Sikhs are there, they will have the Guru Granth Sahib, they will have a Gurdwara, they will have a school. So these three things are fundamental to a Sikh life. Sociability, living life to the fullest. And I have a friend of mine in Arizona, United States. He keeps telling me, he's from Gujarat, he keeps telling me, Dr. Soi, I always goes to the Gurdwara in the morning. And I said, Jitu Bhai Patel, now you are 84 years of age. Now you must restrict yourself. No. I go there. I sit with my Sikh friends, and sometime in the evenings they invite me to their homes as well for a little patella peg and all. You know, Sikhs are sociable. They are always sociable because they are honest people, and maybe because of honesty, the Sikhs have made their marks in spite of the fact. Out of 7.5 billion people, there's just less than 30 million. So this is how the value of Sikhs. The Sikhs have become a well-known and organized community of 30 million in number, prudent and progressive in their outlook. They are deeply attached and emotionally involved with their religion. Their devotion and attachment to religion has resulted in faith becoming a significant component of their psyche. This strong belief in their religion has resulted in enormous reserve of power, which has been their assets in time of crisis during 500 years of history. The uphill task faced by Sikh community from the times of their gurus to the strife for power and prestige in the ensuing periods, resulting in the creation of identity for Sikh self. This identity is for Sikh self, the spiritual, the heroic, the aesthetic Sikh, having created its distinct community on the basis of categorization and differentiation. The Sikh self becomes more adamant in adhering to its exclusiveness, the image of which are deep rooted in its religion. Concludingly, if there is one word that captures and aptly sums up the Sikh self in today's contemporary globalized society for Sikhs, it is the word struggle and success. We have struggled and we have succeeded. Historical evidences indicates the uphill task the Sikhs have faced from time of the early gurus to the contemporary times. Whenever the collective and individual self have been threatened, they have fought fiercely to protect their identity. The outcome of these instances for their existence has usually resulted in making the case for their self-identity even stronger. Having been categorized and differentiated from other groups on the basis of distinct dress code, beliefs and practices and ideology, the Sikh self is determined to adhere to its exclusivity. In the search for this identity in the 21st century, Sikh community has indicated that it is a spiritual self, its core component, which provides its continuity and sameness of the self. It does not tolerate any interference in the domain of religion and its manifestations. It is essential to establish and sustain the continuity of self with time-tested customs and tradition, but following the same custom tradition as a fixed identity was not conducive to their continuous growth. Therefore, some of the older pattern of thoughts and identity were to be retained, some reshaped, some strengthened, or rejected, and some images were to be created and invented in the changing context of multiculturalization. The contemporary Sikh self has been able to balance the demand for continuing its religious tradition as emphasized by indigenous culture and acceptance of the need to expand individualized self to accommodate and also incorporate the experiences from other cultures. However, the balance of continuity and changes keep pulling up the resilience of the self and how much the Sikh self can keep on expanding the underlying self in times to come is of significant interest. And I'm sure with the resilience and power and the faith in the Shabad Guru Granth Sahib, Sikhs will keep on progressing. And the present dispensation at the Indian government level and world over has created some positive mechanism for growth. Sikhs have been always advocating for whenever we do ardas, we used to say, जो गुरु धाम हमसे बिछड़ गए हैं, उन गुरु धामों के खुले दर्शन दीदार होने चाहिए. And Narendra Modi ji at the center, he opened Kartarpur Sahib corridor after 70 years. And the Sikhs started going there freely. So now we can go to the place where Guru Nanak Sahib did agriculture, did his kirat for 17 years. We can go and have the darshans. Narendra Modi ji government 550th celebration, where I was also a little part of it, was celebrated with great fanfare and grandeur. 550 crores were given only to Sultanpur Lodhi. The kind of celebration I had never seen in my life. Generous grant was given. And he said, my coffers are open. Take as much as you want. But Guru Nanak Sahib's 550th birth anniversary should be a grand celebration. We brought 40 students from various countries and we took them to 5 takhats. His Excellency Shri Akhilesh Mishra ji is part of the ICCR. And then 92 ambassadors were taken to Amritsar Sahib Namek and to make them look at the Makkah of Sikhs, the Darbar Sahib. This year, 400th year of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib's martyrdom at Red Fort was celebrated. The Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib was martyred in Chandni Chowk in Delhi. The same place, the world was invited. It was shown to the world that how much love, affection, and respect Shri Narendra Modi ji has for Sikhs. GST on langar was removed by the Modi government. FCR exemption for contribution in Gurdwaras was moved by Shri Modi ji. And I always believe Modi ji has come as a messenger of God and has caught the arms and the fantasy and the brain of Sikhism. And he want to take Sikhism to a different level. He is real messenger of God. We suffered in it, Sikhs suffered in 84 riots, where a lot of people were killed and massacred. But he brought to the book the perpetrators of that crime. And those perpetrators of the crimes, they are behind bars now. I'm sure the dispensation at center, the government at center will further take this forward, take this a modern religion, Sikhism, to its entirety. We have to go deep into the Guru Granth Sahib, which is not only a Bani of 6 gurus, it is Bani of 30 more gurus. 93 times Shri Ramji has come in Guru Granth Sahib. So I'm sure this religion is of, this always teach us of inclusivity. This religion teaches us power. This religion teaches us love. This religion teaches us humanity, seva. And I'm sure with these values, the world will be a better place to live. We do not want war to happen. We want peace to prevail. We want to serve the humanity. Wherever, I again reiterate my commitment and the commitment of Sikhs across, I keep meeting that this religion is for welfare of humanity. Guruji, all the 10 gurus have taught us humility and love for the human beings. Thank you very much for the patient hearing. I again thank Ambassador Mishra and others in Dublin to provide me this opportunity to speak on contemporary globalized society, Sikh culture and values. Sikhs world over, they are indebted. Sat Sri Akal to all. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Wow, how nice, Dr. Sai. It was such a comprehensive presentation from the history, from culture, from spirituality to the contemporary issues. We are all overwhelmed by your presentation, and I'm personally so touched by every word you uttered. And the message is so powerful, so deeply ingrained in our mind and our hearts that we will remember it and we'll watch it many times, your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Saach kaho sun leu sabai, jin prem kiye tinhu prabhu paaye. So like from every word, every sentence, we benefited, and we could feel the warmth and affection and kindness through you, the message of gurus and Sikh Dharma. We all are very deeply grateful to you for such a comprehensive presentation. We are very touched. Nanak naam charti gala tere bhale sarba da bhala, sabka bhala ho.
Thank you very much. Sat Sri Akal, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji.
Hey Guru Ji ki fateh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Soy. We express our gratitude to you for taking out time for this informative lecture and sharing your knowledge about Sikhism and its values with us, which is basically mainly focused on seva, service to society. And with this, we come to an end to today's session. I once again thanks everyone for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.